Here's a segment I called Darian in specifically for this, where we're doing an NFL team draft. And I'm going to be honest, I pulled inspiration from the Mina Kimes show featuring Lenny, a very good NFL podcast. Mina Kimes, as you guessed it, is, of course, the host, where they do an NFL team draft. And we're doing something similar today, where we'll pick the best teams first, working down the board. And there's a point system attached to this. We're going to explain the point system. It's not all that important. Darian will get the first pick. He's the guest. He's here on Visiting Turf. He'll get the first pick. We'll work down from there. But just in order to kind of conceptualize this a little bit, every regular season win is worth 1 point. But where you really start to get points racked up is getting playoff teams. So we won't know the winner here for another 9 months or however long it is. So because every playoff win is worth a point on top of the bonus points you get for making the playoffs. Every team you get in is 5 bonus points. You reach the conference championship game, another 5 bonus points. Get to the Super Bowl, another 5 bonus points. And if you win it all, 10-point jackpot. So a team that runs the table in the playoffs isn't just winning their games. You're getting bonuses on top of bonuses. So the bottom line, wins matter a lot, but how far a team goes matters a little bit more. If you get a team that has 9-10 wins, but they go on a heater in the postseason, that may end up being better than a team that says wins 14 games or something like that. So, You ready?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right. First pick.
With the first pick in the
NFL team draft,
I'm taking the LA Rams.
All right. Okay.
Yes, I'm taking the Rams.
I like that. Thank goodness. Why are you picking the Rams?
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Acquiring Myles Garrett, having Stafford for another 2 seasons, and Trent McDuffie. I think the Rams have kind of taken that leader spot in the NFC, and I think they can taste it. They were there. They were in the conversation the past 2 seasons. I think they'll ascend and get over that hump, man. I think they'll be there this February.
Does it worry you at all that everything hinges on a healthy Stafford?
No, it doesn't worry me.
Okay.
It doesn't worry me because I believe he'll be healthy.
Okay.
I believe he'll be fine. And they're indoors. I believe they have all the pieces. And I think McVay will do everything he can to scheme it up right for him so that he take less hits. And play at an MVP caliber like he has been.
You hope so. I mean, I don't know. Rams weren't my number 1 pick. You left my number 1 pick still on the board, so I'm pretty happy. I see you just picked the Rams. I'm not walking. I'm running to the draft stand. And I waffled on this one quite a lot.
Okay.
Coming into today because, look, I don't want to come across as a homer. I get it. But the Seahawks are my number 1 pick. Or I guess the number 2 pick. Yep, exactly. I'm getting that power up. What is that, Sonic? I'm getting my Sonic rings. I'm doing all that because, look, they got the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
In Jackson Smith and Jigba. They have an innovative offense. Now, one of their biggest weaknesses is the fact that it is a new offensive coordinator, but they went back to the same tree Clint Kubiak was attached to, and they got, I believe, Brian Keefe from the San Francisco 49ers. They've got the best defensive play caller in the NFL, and they have what I believe in Mike McDonald being one of the 5 best head coaches in the league right now. I've got the Seahawks as my number 1 team. I think now, am I worried about there hasn't been a back-to-back Super Bowl champion in some time outside of the Chiefs? Yes. Do I think they have the capabilities? Probably. Are they relying a lot on an aging DeMarcus Lawrence on their defensive line? Sure, there are some weaknesses, but as I did this exercise, there are a lot of weaknesses for a lot of teams. I broke everything down into tiers.
Yeah.
I only had 3 teams in my first tier, which are bona fide Super Bowl contenders.
Okay. So I did mine's. So similar to the divisions. So I did 4. So I did them in categories of 4.
Okay.
So I can already tell by the picks that our lists are very different. And
the Rams were my second pick.
They were okay. All right. So you had Seattle first.
I had Seattle first, Rams 2.
Okay. Gotcha.
Now I'm intrigued. Who would be your third pick here?
Well, my third pick here, I'm going over to the AFC.
Yeah, I would too.
And I'm going over to the new stadium. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, all right.
I'm assuming that wasn't on your list.
It was not.
That high.
Well, let me see. Where are they? They're they're a couple down there. They're a couple down. I still got my third bona fide Super Bowl contender coming up next that I feel really good about.
Alan is going to be able to get his all the sounds off.
Oh, yeah, we're in all the soundboard today.
He's like, yes, the soundboard is going to be hot today, boy.
I almost fell out of my chair. I was so flabbergasted that you picked the Buffalo Bills.
You got to take a flat back on that one.
So why the Bills?
Well, I think Josh Allen gets over the hump. Right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's the best quarterback in the league right now.
They acquired DJ Moore, got Bradley Chubb, and locked down Connor McGovern, at center.
Yeah.
I think they finally get over the hump this year. And I think Josh Allen has had enough stripes. I think he's taken enough. I think he's gonna, if not, and this is the way the NFL works is storylines. You open in a new building, outdoors, Buffalo, and they're saying, hey, you're going to get over the hump this year. It's your time. In my opinion, the script has been written. I believe that it's going to be Buffalo and the Rams in the Super Bowl.
I do. I'm always curious because, like, if the Ravens had made their kick at the end of the regular season to beat the Steelers, is Harbaugh still their coach? If the Bills didn't have that catastrophic Josh Allen fumble against the Broncos, is Sean McDermott still the Bills coach? It's a lot of what ifs from the season last year. Heck, even the Steelers. If Loop had made that kick, is Tomlin, like, so many question marks around it all.
My buddy Fred Smoot says, if was a fifth, we all be drunk. So trust me, I believe it. That, hey, who knows? And then you look at that game, is that they both lost their coaches. The Steelers and Ravens.
And the Bills, to kind of build on that, lost their coach too.
Exactly.
And they've brought in Joe Brady, first-time head coach. I had the Bills high on my list. I'm going to be honest with you. But then I knocked them down a few pegs because we've never seen a first-year head coach. Mike Vrabel was not a first-year head coach, but was first year in his new spot. We've never seen a first-year head coach make it and win a Super Bowl.
Hey, well, I'm gonna tell you something. If 2026 is
if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
There we go. The Knicks can do it. Why can't Buffalo?
We have a text who said, "Don't sleep on the Bengals schedule."
All right, we're getting to the bad teams in a little bit. Hold your horses. We'll get to a bad team.
Hey, just stay tuned to the end of the show.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Bills. Josh Allen is just such a good pick
for sure
because, like, he is the best quarterback that I think there is in the NFL. Not just, we have a QB list coming out later this week. He will be my number one quarterback. I'll spoil that now. I've been playing around with it, but Mahomes coming off all of that. So it is smart in you to hang your hat on the number one quarterback in the NFL right now.
I think he'll be able to get it done. And like I said, I think the NFL loves storylines, and I think this will be the perfect time for him to do it and get over the hump and be the guy that can finally do it for Buffalo, because they need a win.
Four falls of Buffalo. Now that the Knicks have won their championship, not saying the Knicks were necessarily a tortured fan base. Oh, we have to live in New York City. This is so tough. But the Buffalo Bills might be the most tortured fan base after what happened in the 90s.
You know what? That's a really good discussion.
I think the Bills. I think the Bills are the most tortured,
because there's a list, and we talked about it on our show, that the teams are the most gap between wins, and the Buffalo is on. I mean, they never won it, so like, that's a long history of that. But you got like a lot of teams that haven't won something like 30 years. Yeah, right. So it's those type of teams or guys that haven't won it all. But I think Buffalo might be the most, especially in football.
Football especially.
They're definitely the most tortured.
And then they fell on their face this year in the Stanley Cup playoffs with the Sabres and everything. I think Buffalo's a tortured sports town.
They need to win.
You can tell they throw themselves through burning tables all the time. My fourth pick, and this one might be a little out of left field, but I really like their hire at coach, and kind of, I was just giving you a hard time. No first-year head coaches ever won the Super Bowl. Here I am, first-year head coach is my next pick. And it's going to be the Baltimore Ravens.
Good pick.
Because I think.
What?
All right. That was good. All right. Do you not agree with that one, Alan?
No, after you just told me and convinced me that a first-year head coach shouldn't be picked. What?
Well, then you heard me praise Josh Allen, right? You picked the best quarterback. There's a case to be made that Lamar's season last year was that of injuries and just kind of weird happenstance. I think Lamar reclaims the throne as one of the top three best quarterbacks in the NFL. And if I can hang my hat on that, I can hang my hat on Matabike coming back after what we thought was going to be a career-ending neck injury. Calais Campbell's re-signed. You bring in Trey Hendrickson. And look, here's the thing. When Mike Macdonald was when Mike Macdonald was the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens in 2023, the final year he was DC there before the Seattle Seahawks made arguably the best coaching hire in the history of the National Football League. Can't argue with that. Returning to that style, Jesse Minter is a disciple of Mike Macdonald. Last year under Mike Macdonald, the Ravens ranked second in EPA allowed per play in the NFL, and they ranked sixth in success rate allowed at 40.8%. I think the defense gets back to its dominance that it was in 2023. They've bolstered some of their positions, and I think Lamar reclaims his spot as a top 3 QB.
Well, to echo the sentiments of Allen, it wouldn't be a radio host to say one thing and then immediately say something in opposition to that. So, look, man, I think that's a great pick right there. They were very high up on my list. They literally would have been my next pick had they been available. But I think Lamar gets back to MVP form. They had an off year last year. They got a new coach. But the one thing about the Ravens is that they're consistent and they're always in the mix when it comes late in the season. I think you got a guy like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean,
although what I'm a little worried about here is, as we went over the point system, you get rewarded heavily for playoff wins.
Yes.
Lamar doesn't have too many of those. Lamar known as a playoff choker a little bit. So I'm relying on the fact that is fake news and that he will be good this year.
Hopefully this is the year where I think they can be in that mix down in. I mean, you see how close they came the past few years.
Say Flowers doesn't freaking let go of the football on the 1 yard. I digress. I like the Ravens.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. That's a solid pick right there from you.
All right, what's your next pick? This is the 5th overall team.
Man, listen, Alan, get your soundboard ready, man. Because I think you might have fun with this one, man. But I'm going to take a very unpopular opinion, unpopular pick right here. And I don't know how high this team was up on your board.
Okay, if you take my pick, I swear to okay.
I'm going to go with the Houston Texans.
Phew, thank goodness you didn't. All right, the Texans.
I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah, please enlighten me as to why the team that isn't even on my 3rd page of notes. It's on my 4th page of notes.
Defense wins championships.
You're correct, Amundo, there. We just saw it with the Seahawks.
The quarterback doesn't turn the ball over 5 times.
For sure. Boom. And I agree with that. And I'm going to get to that point. But let me get to the acquisitions.
Okay.
Got David Montgomery from Detroit, right? I think he'd be a solid running back for them. Braden Smith, the tackle, Wyatt Teller, guard. So they solidified that offensive line, and then they got Reed Blankenship back there on the back end. I think for CJ Stroud, right, in order for him to get over that hump, he needs a solid offensive line. You lose that with Tunsil, right, by trading him to us.
Yeah.
But I think you get the offensive line solidified in a defense that was a top 5 defense last year. DeMeco Ryans, great coach. I think this might be the year where CJ Stroud takes that next step because he's been in the media talking. They be like, well, is he really the guy? Should they move off of him? Should they move forward? They feel like anybody should be able to quarterback that squad.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like now he gets it. And he's been doing a lot of work. I've been seeing a lot of videos and a lot of things he's been doing. I think he goes over the hump, man. I think he plays better this year. And I think he proves the doubters wrong and takes them deep into the playoffs this year.
I can't argue too much with that because I just did not have him that high. I'm still kind of in shell shock that we took him that high.
Yeah.
You're right, though. Their defense is so freaking. There's an argument to be made that they have the best defense in the league, better than the Seahawks.
They have a great defense. And I think a lot of times what happened was last year, the game was put on CJ Stroud's shoulders, right? And, sometimes you're just not ready for that, or it just could be thrusted upon you too soon. I think with him having the instability at the coaching position by him, getting DeMeco Ryans now, offensive is changing a little bit, losing some pieces. I think now you kind of have it back under control. You back in the mix. You know what they're going to expect from you. You kind of have another year in the system, and you know what your defense can do. The pressure might be on him to prove the doubters and to understand that, hey, it's either make or break for me. I can either get another contract or be a career backup going forward.
Yeah, I mean, all the pressure's on CJ. Like it is solely on his shoulders. How does he respond this year? The Texans have a Super Bowl quality defense without a doubt. My next team, I really want to go with another NFC West team, but here I'm thinking already gamesmanship a little bit. I don't want to double dip in a division too soon.
Okay.
So I'm going to stray away from them, and I'm going to go to the New England Patriots.
Okay.
The Patriots were back. All right, Sam. All right, Sam. They're back and they ain't never left. Unlike the Texas Longhorns, who still aren't really fully back. But we'll leave that to college football season. Arch Manning, we're looking at you. I think the A.J. Brown trade has taken them to a new level offensively. I think he fits exactly what Drake May likes to do. And I know there's all the talk. Well, Drake May, he just beat up on really bad teams last year. He wasn't really that good. Now, all of the teams that he played, I'll admit, weren't fantastic. But when you look at how the secondaries were in each one of those games and how those secondaries graded out on the entire season, he played a slightly above average secondary season. Now, the defenses as a whole weren't the strongest, but the secondaries he played, I don't think were terrible. That's okay. You can say whatever you want about Drake May. And then the A.J. Brown of it all fits in well. It moves everyone down a peg to where I think they fit a little bit better. Defense does need to improve. Will Campbell needs to improve in a big way at left tackle for the New England Patriots. And, oh, by the way, there's this whole scandal hovering over them, and we don't really know how the Diane Rossini of it all is going to play out. But I think they've got the talent, and if they're able to, quote-unquote, block out the noise, this is a team that should win the AFC East and or be in second. They're for sure a playoff team.
No, I think the Patriots are a good squad. I mean, but I'm curious, and I'm a Drake May fan. Of course, being from Carolina, I'm a Drake May guy. But I'm curious if he can sustain this, because you saw how he kind of tailed off towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. And
that's very true. Like, yeah.
So it's like, is that dip? Is he still on that dip? Or is he on the come up? Right.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if he can still keep that going.
I think
into
he's on
next
the
year.
come up with A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
If they had run it back with Pop Douglas, I don't know about all that, but bringing A.J. Brown in, I think, was big.
Yeah, I think that was a good move. And like I said, I mean, he's got a lot of pressure on him too. Like from a fan base that's used to winning. Right. They had a long history of having Tom Brady and being winners, and now getting the taste of it last year, being in the final game of the season again. They're going to expect him to get close back to that point. Right. You get A.J. Brown, who's a top receiver in the league. Now you give him a weapon. So it's like, you should be able to get over this hump now. Right. So they're going to have a lot of expectation, and I'm hoping that he can do it. But maybe not, because I picked the Bills, but I'm hoping that he can still play to the same level, if not better.
And all three of those guys, we talked about them earlier with Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and Caleb Williams. I think all are in massive, massive junior years, right? Because Jaden had the breakout rookie campaign and then an injury-plagued sophomore campaign. Caleb Williams had to deal with Matt Eberflus year one, and not a lot of people can overcome the flus. When the flus is loose, you know what they're saying.
It's flu season.
Then he got Ben Johnson in year two, and he blossomed in a great way. Then Drake May didn't start, came on well at the end of his rookie year, then had a good sophomore campaign. But I think all of them are looking to have a great junior year, so a lot of pressure will be on all of them. Who's your next pick?
Well, I am going to go into a division that we have not touched yet.
Okay.
And I'm surprised.
Danger zone.
I'm surprised it took me this long, but looking at the strategy now,
we're getting into strategy a little bit here at pick 7.
I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs right here.
We are so different, and I love it. I love that we are so different.
No sound, Alan? No sound? That's a good pick.
Nah, man. I couldn't find the snooze button. Boring. I'm going with the Chiefs. Oh, wow. That was really riveting.
Alien laser ray pointed at the earth. I want the Chiefs.
Didn't see that coming.
Look, man, I say this. Patrick Mahomes coming off an injury, right?
Yes.
And what they've done around him, Kenneth Walker. It was so hilarious when I think back to him at the parade. They're like, yeah, let's get him back. He was like,
no,
I ain't going to be here. Magic Johnson, I don't think I'm going to be here. No, Kenneth Walker, who is a great running back in the league, helped Seattle literally run them to the championship. Re-signed Travis Kelce. Alohi Gilman signed the safety there. And, I mean, you can't count out.
Brought back L'Jarius Sneed, too, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, they got guys. And I feel like Mahomes is one of those guys. Like, he's going to be motivated to come back from the injury. You don't know if you have to play Justin Fields or not. I think he'll be Andy Reid is a quarterback whisperer. Like if anybody, Andy Reid could get me to start a game, right? And
well, he had a guy named Chris Oladukin starting a game, so I think Darian Williams sounds a little bit better than Oladukin.
Oladukin. I tried not to do it, but no, I believe truly that this campaign, Patrick Mahomes, and then restructure this deal. Every time I see that number, it's ridiculous. Like $500 million. Like,
that's baseball contract money. That ain't NFL money. But hey, he signed a 10-year deal, and that's why he signed that deal, to give him that cap flexibility.
Can't hate on it. But no, I definitely think they'll be back in the mix this year. Like I said, he's trying to prove the doubters wrong. Yeah. And he's a top tier quarterback, even still. He may have slid down a few, but I think he's still there, and he'll be one of the top quarterbacks this year.
I like it. NFL team draft, as we're joined by Darian Williams, a ESPN contributor. You can hear him up there on ESPN 630 in DC. Look, every regular season win is worth 1 point. The real money is in the playoffs. If you make the playoffs with the teams you pick, you get 5 bonus points per team that makes the playoffs. Every playoff win is a point on top of that. Reach the conference championship game, extra 5 points. Get to the Super Bowl, another 5. If they win the Super Bowl, it's a 10-point jackpot. So you want teams that win, but you want teams that could potentially make a deep playoff run. So far, Darian's taken the Rams, Bills, Texans, and Chiefs. I've gone Seahawks, Ravens, Patriots. My next pick here, it's going to be the 49ers.
Okay.
I was going to try and avoid taking them, but
it's out the mud. We got Rashad McCoy.
Let's wrap this show up right now.
Biggest weakness for San Francisco. You don't believe in this, Alan. You're our resident.
Absolutely not, man. Let's wrap this thing up right now.
All right. Look,
Fitz the Bill, Jack Fitzpatrick.
Hey, man, follow me on.
They got CMC. Let me try to convince you here, Alan. They've got CMC. They've got Brock Purdy. They've got
all the same things that we've had to have.
It's out the mud.
You're a Seahawks fan, man.
Look, and they made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, and the same guys y'all beat so bad. The coach, I really think he considered retiring after that. That was a whipping.
I'm convinced this is partly why. They're old. They're often injured, but they have one last gasp in them. You know, they're the most dangerous when they know things are about to end.
Look, all that energy we would have put into the season is going into avoiding Brandon Ayuk and his Instagram.
Sorry, who posted what? No, I don't know who.
Did you see Kittle on the show? He was like, y'all have fun with that.
Oh, did you hear what he said too? Whose show was it on? They said PFT, and he was like, yeah, I guess he's mad at him, but I don't really know how you can be mad at a team that gave you $130 million. And I was like, okay,
it's true. They paid this man.
It is true. It's a fascinating situation.
And it was like guaranteed money too. Ain't no like hooks and crooks in it or anything. Like they set up Purdy's contract.
Yeah.
Like he's got outs galore in Purdy's contract. They literally gave you $130 million. Look, you're like, you disrespected me.
I'm already having remorse on this pick, but I'm gonna stick next to a 49ers, so I don't feel good about it. Who's your next pick?
All right, man. I'm gonna go with Chicago Bears, man.
I like that.
I'm gonna go with the Bears.
You like that?
Alan is like, bro.
Okay,
keep picking.
Tell me why.
All right, so I actually believe in Caleb Williams, man.
Yeah,
I think he's a great quarterback. Also, the Madden cover athlete, if that means anything. I think it means good stuff now. It's not the old curse.
Could mean a lot of things.
No, it's not the old curse.
Depending
anymore.
on who you talk to.
It's a good thing now. But no, man, I think the Bears showed last year with their stick-to-itiveness that they remind me of the Knicks a little bit. Like if you think about it, like just the gritty nature of the city, they become underdog. Well, they are underdogs.
Yeah.
They're, people are talking about them a lot. Right. And a lot of negative talk as well when all they do is mind their business and try to play good ball. They've made the right moves in the front office. They've acquired some guys, Kobe Bryant, Devin Bush. They drafted
paid a lot for Kobe Bryant. And, I didn't think, never mind.
Hey, it's okay. But I think overall, Caleb has now ascended to one of those great levels of quarterback, in my opinion. I think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, man. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now.
Yeah, I think that'll help them get over the hump, man. And I think and I'm not a big Ben Johnson fan, but he has galvanized this group into making them believe that nobody believes in them, right? Ben Johnson I think he's done a great job of coaching them up to make them believe, why not the Bears?
He's a great coach. I think he's a top 5 coach in this league. What if I told you they went 8-2 last year in 1-score games, and typically that means they'll regress?
Hey.
Okay. All right. That's a great end. Caleb Williams can overcome that. I think Caleb Williams is a great quarterback and can overcome that. All right.
Who you take?
10th pick. I'm going to go with this team. I don't think they're going to be anywhere close to you taking them right now, but I want to give them the respect of putting them in the top 10.
Okay.
I want to be able to plant my flag on this team. This is me, Babe Ruth in it, stepping up to the plate here on June 23rd, calling my shot. The Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
I know they're probably nowhere near where you were going to pick next, and I probably could have waited and done all of that, but I have to show some respect to Kevin O'Connell and everything that they've got going on there in Minnesota. Brian Flores, one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. Last year, with a bunch of no-names on that defense, they were one of the best units in the National Football League, ranking 3rd in the league in EPA per play allowed, 6th in success rate allowed. The defense forced to punt 15.8% of the time, which was the 6th best rate in the NFL. And I love Kyler Murray. And I think this is where we differ on it. I think
this is bad.
That's the one where you lost all your rings.
Not the Sonic rings.
I'll start getting them back.
That's the party foul right there. I love Kyler Murray.
I think Kyler Murray is going to have a career resurgence under Kevin O'Connell.
Sir, are you concerned with the report yesterday that they actually tried to, give him the offense and have him work it, and he looked very confused?
Hey, that's fine.
Okay. It's early enough to be confused.
It's June 23rd. Yeah. If that report was coming out August 23rd, I'd be a little
I am
worried.
concerned though, because O'Connell's offense is not that. It's not a complicated offense.
It's really simple. You know how you get him to learn?
Find Jetta, throw to Jetta.
That, and then also you just plug it into Call of Duty somehow.
That's true.
Build it in the map.
Yeah.
12 personnel. Got it. Okay. Just put it
Give
in
him
the
a
map.
remote controller and he'll be great. I think Kyler will have a career resurgence, and I think their defense is so good. I think they've got the pieces around quarterback that is Super Bowl ready. And look, last year the Seahawks and the Patriots made the Super Bowl. Who would have thunk that? You know what I mean?
True.
I think Kyler's a better quarterback than Sam Darnold at this point of last season. You know what I mean? Like, if you were taking Sam Darnold last year, post his Vikings, and Kyler now, I think Kyler's a better QB, so I've got more faith there. The defense is great in Minnesota. They've got a great DC. They've got a great offensive play caller. Minnesota probably a little high here, but I just got to plant my flag on Minnesota.
Understood, man. Understood. Now, since you're going there, I'm going to get back to my list because
let's get back to what we're doing.
I think this is surprising. It may surprise some people, but I think right here, I'm going with the Eagles.
That does. Well, it surprises us all on this show as noted Philly haters.
Yeah,
so.
I'm definitely a Philly hater.
There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once,
This ain't the J.
Shame
Cole
on
verse.
shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again."
I forgot how long that pause was.
You fool me, you can't get fooled again.
Man,
I'm pretty sure they fooled. Did they fool you last year?
I mean, yes, but
Okay.
One thing about Philly, and you see with their offseason moves, that they're not afraid to make any move that's gonna benefit their team and better their team. They lost AJ Brown,
Yeah, they did.
but they signed Reek Woolen. Yeah.
Oh, no, right? Watch out.
Yeah, get him.
That's the one. Hollywood Brown now there. And I think, man, look, they have Saquon Barkley, one of the best running backs in the league. Like, let's not forget that.
Get back to him.
Yeah, give him the ball. Like, let him get the 2 stacks this year, right? They have a great defense that's been sustained. They drafted Mekhi Lemon. They still have Devontae Smith. Like, I think they're still a good ball club. You're gonna have a tough out against them every week. And Jalen Hurts is still, I mean, I'm not gonna give him too much credit.
Yeah,
But, hey, as long as the tush push still work, like, listen, hey, he's always up there scoring touchdowns. But no, man, I think Philly's still a good ball club. I think they're still the leaders in the NFC East clubhouse. But we'll get to those picks later. But I think they're still the leader in the NFC East clubhouse. And they showed with their offseason moves that they're Howie's going to always try to do anything to better their roster.
Man, I think Jalen Hurts. Never mind. I'll save my Jalen Hurts slander. I respect that pick. I don't like that pick. I respect that pick. My next pick. Again, I think this is a team that is nowhere near where you're going to pick, but I think they are so good. The Jacksonville Jaguars. That was the Jacksonville Jaguars. Look, now here's the big question when it comes to Jacksonville. They were if not bleh, in the first half of the season. Then going into the playoffs, they were one of the best teams in the NFL, both offensively and defensively. They ran into the Bills, had a couple of chances, just couldn't get it done in the playoffs. But I think Trevor Lawrence is on the correct trajectory. I think Liam Cohen is one of the best offensive play callers. You're going to hear me say that a lot. I think I value a lot if one of your coaches are one of the best play callers at their respective positions. I like Jacksonville.
I don't think this is a bad pick, man. I'm hoping they can rebuild off what they did last year. Because last year was a surprise. Like I don't think anybody expected them to play as well as they did last year. Jacksonville, I think, is a good ball club. They're led well. And I think they are an ascending franchise. I don't know if they're going to be able to duplicate what they did last year, but I still believe that they're an ascending franchise.
Yeah. What's next?
I'm going to go with Denver.
Duval.
There you go.
I had to find it.
Denver. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go Denver right here. I mean, making it to the AFC Championship, if Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, who knows if they're the ones in the Super Bowl. The defense is a great defense. Defense is returning. Sean Payton got re-signed. And I think he's a great offensive coach. Bo Nix, who's still a young guy, he's the guy that we don't talk about in that 2024 class because we talked about it earlier.
Yeah, you're right.
We haven't talked about him.
It's another big year for him coming off that injury.
That's what I'm saying. So I think they might be. I don't know if they'll get back to the same level that they had last year, but I think they'll still be a good ball club and a tough out.
All right, my next one. If man, give me the Chargers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Give me the Chargers here. I'll see your AFC West and I'll raise you the LA Chargers. I love Justin Herbert, one of the best offensive play callers in the league, and Mike McDaniel now is their OC. They're old a little bit on the defensive side. They've got a new DC. And can they stay healthy overall? Because the way they just got beat up on the offensive line last year, and can If Man finally silence the critics? We'll see.
I don't know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
Gets the people going.
They were next up for me. Like I think
all right.
They're a good ball
Starting
club.
to come into a
Yeah,
line.
we're at the realm where you got to put somebody, right?
Yeah.
There's 32 teams.
All right. Chargers hater.
Best available.
Well, Alan, I want you to get your soundboard ready because this is gonna be one. And I'm going back home. I'm going back home with this pick. But I'm taking the Washington Commanders at this pick right here.
I thought that was coming, yeah.
Jaden Daniels is going to step back up. He's going to say, D. Will, I don't care who you picked in your selection. It's not going to be the Rams and the Bills. It's going to be us in the Super Bowl. So I'm hoping that Jaden Daniels gets back to rare form. But I'll say this in all seriousness. The Commanders have done a lot to revamp their roster with their free agency class. I believe they had a very solid draft, 2 new coordinators. And I think Dan Quinn has got back into this Jedi mind tricks. Man, he's the master motivator and everything is looking good. And there's a possibility that there could be an addition at the wide receiver position. Who knows what'll happen?
Yeah, honestly. That's what happens if they had Brandon Ayuk.
but is it a bad pick? It's not.
No,
a bad pick.
I love this pick because the Commanders were going to be my next pick.
See,
too. So you took them from me. I was actually going to go Commanders over Chargers, but I did want to give you one last opportunity to take your team.
Thank you.
I also think they're interchangeable here. Real quick recap here. Darren, you taking the Rams, Bills, Texans, Chiefs, Bears, Eagles, Broncos, Commanders. I've taken the Seahawks, Ravens, Patriots, 49ers, Vikings, Jaguars, Chargers. And if you just tuned in, we're essentially picking the teams we think have the best shot at making a deep playoff run. There are points involved, all of that fun stuff, but we won't know the winners until it's around playoff time and we have a good picture of how things are going. So now we go 16 through 32 here over the final, 9 minutes or so of the show. I've got to kick it off with the last team I have in my second tier.
Okay.
It's going to be the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
You're out on the Detroit Lions. I don't know. We've been chatting so much today. I don't know if that was in a commercial break or if it was on the air. But the Lions, look, they still got Dan Campbell. I think he's an elite level head coach. He's a CEO type, but he's really great. got elite weapons, man. Jahmyr Gibbs, J-Mo, although what J-Mo was wearing when he signed on that house a couple of days ago, that's a little crazy. I'll digress. Defense is still an issue. There's a lack of coordinator continuity, and that's why they're 16th.
Well, they'll be desperate this year. That window is closing, and I think it may be already closed, but I think this is the last shot for them, and that's a good pick right there.
All right, who's your next pick?
I'm staying in that division. I'm going with Green Bay.
Oh, that was going to be my next pick. Top of tier 3 for me are the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, Jordan Love, I think, is a good quarterback. Micah Parsons will come back from the injury. Something about the Green Bay, they're scrappy ball club. For whatever reason, they never are the top end, but they're never the bottom end. So I think where we're picking them is kind of where they may be.
Yeah.
I think they do have the potential to ascend in that division because that division is so good. Who knows what'll happen?
They need Micah back. I'll tell you that right now. They need Micah back ASAP.
Micah.
I got Dallas next.
Okay.
I know that might hurt your soul as a Commanders fan, but look, one of the best offenses in the NFL last year. Defense, terrible, just terrible. But they got Caleb Downs.
Yeah,
so
guy, man. I love that guy.
For me, with the Commanders, either Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs.
Yeah,
and they got Sonny, which I think was a fantastic pick. Caleb Downs ends up going to Dallas. All he can do is help because they were the worst defense in the league a year ago. Love that offense.
Yeah, man. I think that's a good pick right there. I am going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wow, we are really aligned right now. We have gone blow for blow. This is down my list. You took my next team.
Yeah, man. I think Joe Burrow have some resurgence. He still got 2 top end receivers. Jamar Chase is one of the best receivers in the league, man. I think he's top 2, not 2. No, but
Jackson Smith and Jigba might be calling up and saying, "Hey, actually, real quick."
No, I think he's a great player, and I think, man, it's one of those things. Zach Taylor needs it has to happen now.
Yeah,
it has to happen. If it doesn't happen now, when? So I think this could be the crap will get off the pot moment for them.
Oh, look, there might be a call coming to Zach Taylor at the end of this season, and it might not be that good. My next pick is the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
Stefanski, what he can bring to that offense with those skill players. You tell me you got Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts. I don't know who their QB is, and that's a huge drawback. If it's Tua, I actually think they'll do better with Tua than
Tua turned the ball over.
Tua do a lot of stuff that ain't complete the pass, but I like the Falcons.
Curious when the last time a team had 2 left-handed quarterbacks.
No, that's a great deep dive. That's a good question.
That's a good stat.
Because there's not been even a lot of left-handed quarterbacks, period.
So I'm thinking, so it may show and prove that it doesn't mean anything, but I guess everything is the same now.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to completely switch your offense.
Right. Now, we won't switch divisions either. We're going to stay right in the NFC South, and I'm going with Tampa.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going with
Tampa.
Tampa.
I thought you for sure would have gone Carolina.
Nope. I'm going with them next if you don't pick them.
Why Tampa? Why Tampa?
Well, I think Baker Mayfield is kind of one of those middle-of-the-road type quarterbacks, and he has the potential to be better. I think Tampa's is solid with Todd Bowles, and they play well. Sometimes you just can't account for that weather down there in the season, the humidity. But I think Tampa overall is a good ball club. And if they wear more of the creamsicles, then they'll definitely get some more dubs, in my opinion.
All right, my next pick is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. I wrote down strengths and weaknesses for each and every one of these teams. Strength, Indiana Jones. Weakness, Indiana Jones. Daniel Jones is going to be the key piece of the Colts next year. And I'm not breaking any news by saying that, right? But if he can't come back as good as he was playing, then they have no shot. So it's a high risk, high reward here thing for me. They're not in a good division. That's something else that you got to kind of keep in mind with this game, right? In the AFC South, you got the Texans, great defense, Jaguars. I picked the Jaguars a lot earlier. They were like my 12th pick or something like that.
The Texans. Where
and you picked the Texans in the top 5, which is insane. but the Colts have an opening. You're going to get a couple of free wins each year with the Tennessee Titans. So if Daniel Jones can play well, they should be a good team.
What Fred Smooth say. But it's okay. Like I told you, if you didn't pick them, I'm going to pick them. So I picked Carolina right here. I think Bryce Young is a better quarterback, and they proved last year that they have some grit to them. And for whatever reason, they weren't out of them games last year, especially that Rams game.
They played the Rams so well last year.
I mean, taking them to the brink, and that's kind of what you want. And I'm happy for Bryce Young because everybody counted him out early, and he's able to kind of get over the hump and get back in the mix.
They write me off, but I ain't right back.
There you go.
All right, Gino. Over here. Okay, sure.
I'm going with the Panthers, man.
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here because we're on to tier 4 here, where it's no chance, and then I've got my final tier 5, which is the teams I don't even know why we're picking, but here tier 4, the Raiders. I think Clint Kubiak can bring something to him. And look, I might be buying into the Raiders stock for the second year in a row. I bought into them last year. I was like, man, the Raiders might be good. They got Pete Carroll. They got an adult in the room. And then they blew up, and they're one of the worst teams we've ever seen in the history of the NFL. They still got some questions, but then they got Mendoza. They got Ashton Genty.
The one thing about stocks, man, they got to go public, and the Raiders are not public.
They have not hit their IPO like SpaceX did the other day.
I'm surprised that you didn't go with this team. We talked about them earlier, but I think out of the rest, they're the best. I'm going to go with the Steelers right here.
I have a vendetta against Aaron Rodgers. I was never picking Aaron
You was never
Rodgers.
picking them.
No,
Got you.
no.
Understood. But I want to win this game, so I'm picking Steelers. Hey, look, he's old. But you know they're gonna rip the ace bandage off soon at some point for these old guys.
You gotta hope, man.
They need to at some point, but we'll see what happens, man. But I think out of the rest, they're the best.
This was the year to rip it off for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This was the year to be like, we're gonna suck this year, and we'll be back at it with the best quarterback draft we've seen in quite some time. Who knows? Maybe they throw their hat into the Brendan Sorsby ring when it comes to supplemental
That's what
draft.
I was thinking. I was like, it could be a possibility.
Maybe. I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans.
Ooh.
Titans, I think every year over the last, decade or so, there's a QB that has an insane first year to second year jump as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
It was what we all remember, Drake May, first year, second year. There's been Kyler had a good jump. A lot of guys typically have a good jump. Cam Ward is primed to have a solid sophomore campaign. And with his new head coach and Robert Saleh, I like that.
I am going with the other Harbaugh right here. I'm going with the Giants. And while it pains me to pick them for for two reasons, I think Jackson Dart would be a better quarterback this year. They've added some guys on defense, and they've got some consistency in the head coaching room.
They got an adult in the room.
Yeah, for sure. So while I'm not completely bought in on them, I'm just think they're better than who's left on the list.
And this one's going to hurt, but it's the last team I've got in this tier, the Jets.
Ooh.
Just end the season. But look, the Jets, I guess they're good. They've got good skill positions, right?
Yeah.
They got Breece Hall. I like what they've
Garrett
got
Wilson.
cooking at Garrett Wilson. I like what they got cooking at tight end. Can Geno Smith bounce back? I genuinely do not know. Was that because he was in a Raiders organization that was having offensive line team meetings without their coach because they couldn't trust their coach? Like, maybe. Could it also just be that he's washed? Also a possibility. So give me the Jets at 28.
I feel bad for Aaron Glenn. I really hope they play well because I think he's an excellent coach, and he's gonna get.
He's done after this
Yeah.
year if they don't make the playoffs. You know that ownership group.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Saints right here.
Saints are a good one.
Yeah, I think they have a 30-year-old starting at quarterback
In his second year, of course.
right? They have me starting at quarterback. No, but I think they're a better ball club. I mean, better than 2 wins last year? Oh no, not 2 wins. They had a few more wins last year.
Yeah, I think they had 6. I think
Yeah.
they ended up finishing with 6.
Yeah, so maybe have one win better.
All right. I'm going to go. This is tough. I mean, the Cardinals, I guess.
They were last on my list.
I got the team that's last. I think we'll see who you pick next. But the Cardinals, you got Jeremiah Love, you got Trey McBride.
Yeah.
In a contract dispute with Jacoby Brissett. Looks like Marvin Harrison Jr. is a bust. There's not a lot to be happy about if you're an Arizona fan.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get to pick my worst team.
Yes. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I think maybe Malik Willis has a resurgence here, but can't be too bad in Miami. Everybody will go see Giannis.
And Cleveland. Cleveland's my pick for the last place team. Cleveland.
You don't want to see Shador?
Am I seeing Shador? Am I seeing Deshaun Watson?
it's
Am I
Deshaun.
seeing Dylan Gabriel? Am I seeing Brendan Sorsby? I don't know. But we rounded it out. What a fun second hour that was. Browns defense, I guess, should be good.
Might see Darian Williams at quarterback. Who knows?
Might see all three of us here. Might see Alan and me and you all just kind of
maybe late.
rotating. Yeah, get Lake in. Speaking of Lake, he'll be here 3 p.m., 3 to 4. He'll be live up there from Commander's Camp. So keep it locked right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, or he'll be in studio. It's one of the two. It's hard to keep track with what Lake's doing. Darian, thank you so much for coming down. It was a blast today.
Always, man. Look, everybody watching, make sure you check in with Jack and follow me everywhere. D Will does it all.
There we go. That's an easy one. D Will does it all. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Keep it locked right here for where Richmond talks sports.